Now, if you asked somebody who knew absolutely nothing at all about motorcycles to name you a couple, they'd probably say, yeah, one of them big American things, them big fancy custom things with all the chrome, what they're called, Harley Davidson, yeah, they'd probably say that. Or they might say, what about one of them racy Japanese things, you know, them really fast things, what they're called? That's it, a Honda Fireblade. And this is the very latest 2002 version of Honda's flagship sports bike, the CBR 954RR Fireblade, the machine which, since its launch 10 years ago, has become a biking icon. Breathtaking performance with handling to match, and as much style and street cred as you'll ever need. Now, if you were listening very carefully then, you'll have noticed that I called it the CBR 954. That's because this engine has now grown by 25 cc's from last year's model. We're now up to 954 cc's. So therefore, it's simply a 2001 model that's been bored out a bit and they've stuck some new bodywork on it. No, definitely no. Big no. This new Fireblade is so much more than that. Yes, the motor's been bored out by 1mm, but that's only a tiny part of the story. Compression has been increased whilst friction within the engine has been reduced. The pistons, despite being larger in diameter, now have shorter skirts and are actually lighter than those used in last year's model. Single exhaust valve springs are now used in place of the old double springs, which again has reduced weight, and this also helps to make the engine rev quicker. The fuel injection has been improved and it's been remapped, with each injector now having 12 laser drilled holes to give finer fuel atomization, and it helps to give a smoother throttle response with more efficient combustion. So I think after all that technical blurb there, we've established now that this is a pretty high-tech machine, certainly as far as the engine is concerned. But there's lots and lots of other changes on the bike. Some of them are fairly obvious. For example, this swing arm, look at this racing style swing arm, beautiful thing, it's a work of art. That is actually lighter than the one that they used last year, but somehow they've managed to make it stiffer and stronger. Other changes are not so obvious, little things like the spring on the rear shock. Would you believe that that is actually lighter than before? These wheels are now lighter. The frame looks to be pretty much the same to me. Seems like it's been beefed up a little bit up at the headstock, and there's a slight revision to the brackets at the back of the frame here to accommodate this new seat and tail unit, which is actually narrower than before. And I don't like to state the obvious, but I'm sure you've already noticed that the frame is now black. So everything's lighter for 2002, but by how much? Well, allow me to give you some comparisons. Suzuki's GSX-R 1000 weighs in at 170 kilos. Yamaha's new R1 is 174 kilograms. This new Fireblade tips the scales at just 168 kilograms, which is just a fraction lighter than Honda's own CBR 600 Sport. Quite incredible. By now I should be reaching some kind of conclusion, and I should be sort of wrapping up this little feature on the new Fireblade. But you know what? It gives me such a buzz to ride it. It's so addictive, this. It is a great bike to ride. Then I think I'll go and do some more. I'll take it for another spin and I'll tell you what I really think about it later on. I'll just take my glass back.